Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So today's video is going to be a what I eat in a day, but it's specifically going to be how I eat intuitively during a fat loss phase. And for me, because I have been in a slight surplus for a few years now, in order to initiate fat loss, I know that I need to lose a few pounds of body weight along with that, especially because I do not have any goals in drastically increasing my muscle mass. And I know, as someone who's a bit more advanced with training, aka I have been training for several years now, I'm not going to be able to recomp that quickly, so that requires that I lose some weight. So long story short, today's video is going to be how I eat intuitively in order to lose weight. So it's now almost lunchtime. I've already eaten my breakfast and I did film that for you guys earlier on. This is what I've been eating ever since I decided to start the fat loss phase, and I naturally just switch things up when the seasons change. So my winter breakfast was 2 boiled eggs and oatmeal, but I don't really like eating warm foods when the weather starts getting warmer. So now I'm having 1 whole egg with 3 egg whites to reach this relatively the same amount of protein as the 2 boiled eggs. No, there's nothing wrong with having a whole egg, and it is healthy for you, but I am having 1 whole egg to get the fat source in that meal, but I just don't feel the need in having extra. It gives me the exact same feeling of satiation and I enjoy eating it. So to me, it's an easy way to cut the energy a tiny bit from that meal without my body really noticing it. That's probably the only like calorie cutting thing that I did. Everything else, I'm just trying to be a lot more mindful of what I'm eating. But anyway, after I have kind of the first part of my breakfast, I like to eat that while it's still hot. I finish that and then I have my cereal. So I have been having like a whole grain hearty wheat cereal, and I always add berries to it. I find that frozen blueberries work the best because they do tend to thaw out a little bit once you add the milk, and they leave this delicious blueberry flavor to the milk. It's great. I highly recommend it. And then I also sometimes will add sliced banana if I just want to jazz it up a little bit. I have that cereal with almond milk because I just prefer the taste of almond milk, and I try to have as many dairy-free meals as possible, just simply because I don't have to take an enzyme because I am lactose intolerant. You might see if I do have dairy today that I don't restrict it if I feel like having it, because I like having dairy and I'd rather not have the like psychological food restriction, and I'd rather just take an enzyme. I have to start making Ben's lunch now because it's going to be his lunch break soon, so I'm going to do that. Oh, and later today I plan on doing a workout, so I think I might make his food and then do the workout and then make my food after, but we shall see. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I did actually lose some weight already. So I started off at 121.4, and that was the first time I weighed myself in I think 3 years. So it's been a really long time. I allowed myself to relearn how to intuitively eat over that time without any pressure on what my body weight was. I developed a very healthy relationship with food. There were some trials and tribulations along the way, so I've come to where I am now. I'm really happy with how I'm doing. My relationship with food has never been better in my adult life, so that's really good. I feel like I'm at the point now where I'm happy and comfortable, and I would like to lean out a little bit, so that's why I've started this fat loss slash slight weight loss journey. I didn't weigh myself in the last few days because I only try to weigh myself once a week, but I would assume that I'm in the 119s now, I think, but I'll have to confirm that when I weigh myself on Wednesday, because that's when I weigh. But I'll give you guys a little physique update. You might not even be able to tell a difference, but I'll show you guys what I'm looking like, and I'll show you guys my outfit as well, because I just received this new Gymshark set and it's really cute. Okay, so this is how I look, obviously, when I'm posing to try to make myself look a little bit leaner and better, but this is how I look just standing without flexing. I get a lot of people saying that I have hip dips, and to be honest, I just never even really noticed them, but for me they are actual fat. So I've got a fat deposit here and a fat deposit here. For some people they're not, and it's just anatomical. So yeah, I would assume that that would probably smooth out as I lose weight and fat, but if it does, then great. If it doesn't, then I honestly don't really care. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit leaner overall, especially my upper body tends to lean out faster, and I'm seeing more definition on my shoulders without really increasing the amount of weight that I'm lifting. I'm pretty much trying to maintain my lower body, maybe grow my glutes, my hamstrings a little bit. And by the way, this is the new high-waisted flex color way, and I really love the shorts. I've always really loved them. I do prefer cycling shorts myself because then they don't ride up on me, but you can kind of pull them up a little bit. You want them a little bit shorter. Okay, so Ben's food has now been put in the oven, so I don't have to deal with that for a little while. So I do have a little bit of a home workout station set up already, and this is where I do my filming for Instagram videos. I'm really glad that I did this. Actually, Becky and I did it together the first week that she could come back to work, so it was very productive. So this is what I have set up here. So this corner, kind of all we did was really move the sofa, and it's actually behind me, but I'm not going to show you guys because it's a very big mess over there. And I ordered this rug off of some random website as like a little workout mat, but I think it looks really pretty and aesthetic. And then I just have a few bits to use as weights. This is the Nutella from the Nutella workout that I did on Instagram. So it's just a nice plain white background with a few plants, perfect for filming. So today I decided I'm going to do a back workout, and I figured I would film it for Instagram. And I realized that I've been filming my Instagram videos in landscape, so like horizontally, just because I find it easier to like crop it in. So it will work perfectly for this YouTube video as well. So I'm gonna include it in this video, and I'll show you guys what equipment I'm using to do a home back workout. So I am going to be using this little set of bands that I got off of Amazon. I've actually had these for a few years, and they definitely do come in handy. So it's just a set of resistance bands that you can put through this little anchor here and then shut them in the door so that you can have them at whatever height that you want. It mimics a cable machine, so it's perfect for doing back exercises. So I'm going to use these today, and we'll see how we go. I might use these for all exercises, or I might use some dumbbells. I've got a few more dumbbells over there as well. So I'll show you guys what I come up with. My workout, I feel like those exercises looked a lot easier than they actually were. I forgot how difficult and like taxing it is to use bands because they require a lot of stabilization as well. And when you're doing back exercises, that's all shoulder stabilization, which is, you know, it's something that it takes you a while to build up. And that's why when people start lifting weights and they're doing shoulder press, it's always like trying to get the weight up. So definitely recommend, if you guys can get your hands on some bands, to get some and to do some back workouts with them. It's 1:17, so it's actually quite late. It's later than I would usually eat lunch. I probably eat lunch around 12:30. So I'm gonna get my lunch started and I'll show you guys what I'm eating. Okay, so for lunch I'm going to have this leftover tomato pasta from last night. I made like chicken parmesan for Ben, and I made like a scallop tomato basil pasta for me, and this is what's left over. So I'm gonna heat that up with some prawns. So that is going to be my lunch. By the way, this is regular pasta. There's been a pasta shortage for a while, so I'm using up everything that I have. But usually I would try to have the high fiber or the whole grain pasta. But this works for now. Smells so good. So that is my lunch all done. I did leave a little bit of pasta at the bottom. I just got full before I finished eating it, and I never force feed myself. As soon as I'm full, I stop eating, and that's one thing that really helps me with intuitive eating. I mean, the whole point of intuitive eating is to listen to your body, so I don't ignore it when it wants cravings, but I also don't ignore it when it's just like, I'm full. I do always have a sweet tooth though, so every time I eat a meal, it's usually savory, and then I always crave a little dessert. So I have already eaten one of these little apples, and I'll probably snack on a few of these for my dessert, and then I usually just get bored of eating like a fruit or whatever and then move on. I will see you guys when I eat, if I have a snack before dinner, and if not, I'll see you guys at dinner time. By the way, Ben bought these, not me. I would never buy chopped up fruit in a plastic container. Oh, and I am gonna finish off this half-eaten cookie, well, from last night. Yeah, I am that type of person who just eats a couple bites of something and then just leaves it there, so I'm just gonna finish this. Hello, it's a few hours later and I just spent some time out in the garden. That's how I decided to spend my Friday afternoon. I rarely lie out in the sun, but I really wanted to make the most of today because the weather's been absolutely beautiful and I know I'd regret it if I didn't. So I spent a little bit of time outside, only maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes, but now I am craving something sweet, cold, and refreshing. I had this idea to make myself like a juice slushy. I just kind of want a couple nuts. So we have these pecans, which I bought for muffins that I made, but I forgot how much I love them. So sometimes I'll snack on a couple of these a day. So I'm gonna have probably honestly, at one time I had 2 or 3 of these because I actually find them to be really satisfying and filling. I'll show you guys my plans for the slushie. So I bought this juice from our local Tesco Express. Probably not the best for you, it's pretty high in sugar, although it does say 40% lower in sugar. Sometimes I just like having juice, so I'm gonna blend this up with some ice and see if that can make a delicious slushie. It's so good. My only issue is that I don't have any fresh mint. I feel like this blended up with some fresh mint would be divine. I might just go back outside for a little bit longer while I finish this drink. I'm very overexposed right now. Hopefully I'm not actually that pale as I look on camera, but I'll check in with you guys when I start dinner, which actually shouldn't be in too long. So I'll see you guys then. You're being a really good boy, aren't you? Aren't you? You enjoying the sun? Bilb is a serial sunbather. Aren't you, honey? You go out all day and you have a spot that you lie in. Pom, thank you. Thank you. Hello again, it's a bit later. I finally fixed the exposure on my camera so that I don't look like a ghost, but I'm all changed and I'm ready to start making dinner. I did spend the afternoon kind of cleaning a little bit, doing some laundry, tidying up and wiping down the kitchen surfaces so that I'm not embarrassed to film in there. I just wanted to show you my dress because I think it's really cute and it's really nice to wear around the house. I just find wearing stuff like this makes me feel a little bit, I don't know, cute. It's not as boring as wearing sweats, and most of the time I'm actually too warm to wear sweats because in the UK there's no air conditioning inside. This dress is actually from H&M, so it is very affordable and it's a linen blend, which is really nice. So if you guys are interested in it, I will link it down below for you. Okay, let's get started on dinner. Okay, so for dinner tonight, I'm going to be making sweet and sour chicken. I guess you could say it's a Chinese inspired stir-fried chicken recipe, and it's kind of like a healthier version, and it's sort of like a breaded chicken style. I have actually showed this in a video previously. It was a video that I did with HelloFresh, so this recipe is actually adapted from their recipe, so I wanted to give them credit for that. But I really do like them for learning how to make new recipes and kind of breaking it down in a really easy way. There are a lot of steps required, but it's pretty simple, so I will show you guys how I make it, and I will include the recipe down below if you need it written out. Okay, so first you need some chicken. I'm only making a small batch of this recipe for today because this is all I have, but I'll give you the ingredients for 350 grams of chicken. You just need to chop this up, and then I use corn flour or corn starch to coat the chicken in, and then that helps it form kind of like a mock breading, which makes it taste really good. It kind of tastes like it's a deep fried chicken in a sweet and sour sauce, so except obviously not quite that rich, but it gives you a good impression of that. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this up and I'll put some cornstarch in a plastic bag and then shake up the chicken, and then we cook it on the stove. Cook the chicken so that it's golden brown on each side before you start tossing it around so that the cornstarch doesn't clump up. So I would say that that chicken is pretty much done. So I'm going to take it off the heat. Now I'm going to put the wok on the heat, and that is the oil that I poured off, like the excess oil from the first pan. I just didn't want to waste it, so that should be good for the vegetables that I'm about to cook. Now that the veggies look like that, we're just going to remove them from the heat while I start the sauce. We just tossed around the first large clove of garlic to saute it, and then we're taking the veggies off the heat once they look like they're all caramelized and grilled. So the most important ingredient for the sauce is ketchup mayonnaise, otherwise known as ketchup mayonnaise. It's kind of like a sweet soy sauce, but it's not teriyaki sauce, it's different. So just have a look around to see if your local grocery store sells this, or you can just kind of search it online. I saw it on Amazon before. I wouldn't have learned about this if it wasn't for that HelloFresh recipe, so I'm very glad that I did. I'm going to use the M&S one today. So for 350 grams of chicken, I'm going to use around 100 or 100, yeah, a little over 100 mils of the ketchup mayonnaise, or mayonnaise, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Then you want to add in equal parts rice vinegar. So I've run out of this, so I'm gonna substitute with a little bit. You could also just use regular white vinegar. I don't think it makes a big difference, but I'm gonna just add in a little bit of this malt vinegar. You won't really notice it when it's in the recipe. Then I'll usually add in like a big squirt of honey, but since we are all out of honey, I'm just gonna use some maple syrup, because you just need to add something sweet basically. Good. Okay, so then you want to top it up with 100 milliliters of water. Then you want to add in another large clove of garlic. I'm just using 2 small ones. Just want to give that a stir. And that is the sauce. Okay, so we're going to turn the heat back on for the veggies. And then we're going to pour over our sauce. I'm going to just let that simmer until the sauce thickens. And then at the very last, we're going to add our green beans. So it's all ready. We had a little bit of a fail with the rice since I had to cook it on the stove, which I haven't done in years. And it's quite stodgy, as the British would say. More like sticky rice, but this is ready and it looks really good. We always really look forward to this meal, don't we?
Looks so good.
It's Ben's favorite. We'll make sure we make it look nice. We're feeding Bill his dinner. Got his wild caught raw food, healthy diet. Okay, give me paw, good boy. Other paw, good boy. Down, roll over, good boy. Sit pretty, good boy, sit. Paw, good boy, down. Roll over, good boy, wait. So ears tucked in. Yes. Good boy. Ben's just double checking his video that he recorded of his live interview with, what is it, BBC?
BBC, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know he was recording.
I'm videoing. Oh god, I'm sweating now.
You did so well.
Thank you. Bill, are you happy? Are you happy, Bill?
Oh, thank you.